Apples and oranges. Used to highlight the fundamental differences between two things that are not comparable or similar. Represents the notion that attempting to compare or equate two inherently different entities is illogical or invalid. Comparing the performance of a sports car to that of a minivan is like comparing apples and oranges. They serve entirely different purposes. Trying to judge the quality of a painting and a sculpture is like comparing apples and oranges. Each is a distinct form of artistic expression. Comparing the environmental impact of plastic bags and paper bags is like comparing apples and oranges. They have different ecological footprints. You can't compare the intelligence of dogs and cats. It's like comparing apples and oranges. They have different strengths and behaviors. When discussing the benefits of living in the city versus the countryside, it's like comparing apples and oranges because each offers unique advantages and drawbacks. Chalk and cheese. Used to emphasize the stark contrast or differences between two people, things, or situations. Represents the idea that two entities are entirely dissimilar in nature, characteristics, or qualities. The old and new versions of the software are like chalk and cheese. The new version is sleek and user-friendly, while the old version is clunky and outdated. Comparing the weather in Hawaii to the weather in Alaska is like comparing chalk and cheese. One is tropical and warm, while the other is cold and snowy. Sarah and her sister are like chalk and cheese. While Sarah is outgoing and adventurous, her sister is reserved and prefers quiet activities. The two candidates have completely different approaches to leadership. They're like chalk and cheese in terms of management style. The hotel rooms were like chalk and cheese. The deluxe suite was spacious and luxurious, while the standard room was small and basic. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Expresses the idea that two options or alternatives are essentially the same or equally preferable. Indicates that there is little practical difference between two choices or outcomes. Whether we eat at the Italian restaurant or the Mexican restaurant, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. They're both nearby and offer tasty options. Buying a new car versus leasing one is 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. They both have their advantages and drawbacks. Whether we take the highway or the scenic route, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. We'll still arrive at the same time. Choosing between the two candidates is like deciding between 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. They both have similar qualifications and policies. We can either order pizza for dinner or cook pasta at home. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Either way, we'll have a delicious meal. Compare apples to apples. Encourages making a fair and direct comparison between similar or equivalent things or situations. Advises against comparing things that are inherently different or unequal. When analyzing financial data, it's crucial to compare apples to apples by using consistent metrics and benchmarks. When evaluating job offers, make sure to compare apples to apples by considering factors like salary, benefits, and job responsibilities. When comparing the cost of living in different cities, it's essential to compare apples to apples by considering housing prices, transportation costs, and other expenses. When choosing a college, students should compare apples to apples by considering factors such as tuition, campus amenities, and academic programs. In a scientific study, researchers must compare apples to apples by controlling variables and ensuring that experimental conditions are consistent. Black and white refers to a situation or issue that is clear-cut, unambiguous, or easily understandable, with no shades of gray. Represents the contrast between two extreme or opposite positions or perspectives. He sees everything in black and white, with no room for nuance or compromise. The judge's decision was black and white. There was overwhelming evidence of the defendant's guilt. The issue of climate change is not black and white. It's complex and multifaceted, with various contributing factors and potential solutions. She has a black and white view of morality, believing that actions are either right or wrong, with no gray areas. The rules of the game are black and white. Either you follow them, or you don't. Cut from the same cloth. Used to describe people or things that are very similar in character, temperament, or behavior. Indicates that two or more individuals share common traits, qualities, or backgrounds. Sarah and her mother are cut from the same cloth. They both have a passion for art and creativity. The two rival companies are cut from the same cloth. They offer similar products at comparable prices. The two political candidates are cut from the same cloth. They have similar ideologies and policy positions. John and his brother are cut from the same cloth. They're both ambitious and hardworking. Despite their different backgrounds, the two friends are cut from the same cloth. They share the same values and interests. On the same page. In agreement or harmony with someone else. Having mutual understanding or shared objectives. Used to describe individuals or groups who are in alignment or have a unified perspective on a particular issue or matter. It's essential that the management team is on the same page regarding the company's strategic priorities and goals. The negotiations went smoothly because both parties were on the same page about the terms of the agreement. To ensure a successful event, it's crucial that all event planners are on the same page regarding logistics and scheduling. We need to make sure everyone in the group is on the same page about the presentation format and content before the meeting. We're all on the same page about the project timeline and deliverables, so let's move forward with the plan. 6s and 7s. In a state of confusion, disorder, or disarray, lacking organization or clarity. Refers to a situation or condition characterized by uncertainty or unpredictability. Due to the last-minute changes, the event was thrown into 6s and 7s, leading to logistical challenges and confusion. The project fell into 6s and 7s when key team members left unexpectedly, causing delays and setbacks. The house was in 6s and 7s after the party, with dishes piled up in the sink and decorations scattered everywhere. With conflicting instructions from different managers, the team was left in 6s and 7s, unsure of how to proceed. After the unexpected announcement, the office was in 6s and 7s as employees tried to make sense of the changes. Same difference. Used to point out that two options or outcomes, despite appearing different, result in the same overall effect or consequence. Indicates that distinctions between two things are trivial or inconsequential, as they lead to equivalent outcomes. Choosing between the chicken and the beef is the same difference. They both cost the same and taste similar. Whether we take the bus or the subway, it's the same difference. We'll both get to the destination at the same time. Whether you pay in cash or by credit card, it's the same difference. The total amount owed remains unchanged. Whether you arrive at 9 a.m. or 9:15 a.m., it's the same difference. The meeting hasn't started yet. Some people prefer tea, while others prefer coffee, but it's the same difference. They both provide a caffeine boost. Level up your English. Master vocabulary, idioms, and phrasal verbs with fun quizzes. Translate meanings into 104 languages. Download now. Link in the description. Please like and subscribe to our channel.